Coming up on this edition of Southwest TV News. A massive fire on April the 22nd, which destroyed one home and caused extensive damage to two neighboring properties, has now been deemed accidental. As many producers across the Southwest are already out in the field seeding, crop specialists are hoping for rain in the near future to improve overall soil conditions. A capacity crowd recently packed the Sky Center in Swift Current for the 12th annual Mayor's Luncheon, all in support of the local branch of the Canadian Mental Health Association. Thanks for joining us here today. The Swift Current Fire Department has wrapped up its investigation into a major fire here in the city. We have more in today's top story. A massive fire on April the 22nd, which destroyed one home and caused extensive damage to two neighboring properties, has now been deemed accidental. The Swift Current Fire Department has concluded its investigation into the fire on Russel Crescent and now offers this update.
We have addressed the fire to have started outside the building, along the frontage of the home close to the front door. We don't have an exact cause or something that we can put some science to. So it could have been a stray match, it could have been a stray cigarette, it could have been an old oily rag that heated up and caused a fire. It relates to a whole grouping of causes, but in this situation, because I can't put my finger on a match, a cigarette, a oily rag, I have a suspicion of what caused it. I have a fairly good idea of what caused it, but I can't say so for certain.
LaRue further adds that with the investigation now completed by his department and insurance issues addressed, the site of the engulfed home on Russel Crescent is now clear of all debris. And going forward, as the dry conditions continue across the region, caution is advised to the general public.
That fire that we had in town leading into the Fort McMurray fires has certainly put people on high alert, so to speak, and just encouraging everybody to be really cautious. It does happen places, it does happen here, it can happen anywhere. Be cautious with your smoking materials, be cautious with your backdoor fire or backyard fire pits and your barbecuing. Be cautious in the fields, have a fire extinguisher with you or a means to suppress fire. Don't throw your cigarette butts out the window or into the flower beds and parks, garbage cans, things like that. Be cautious.
The short-term forecast for the Swift Current area is calling for sunshine and above seasonal temperatures. Environment Canada is calling for a hot, dry summer across southwest Saskatchewan. We find out more in this report. Southwest Saskatchewan has been experiencing above normal temperatures combined with dry conditions for the past number of weeks. And as many producers across the Southwest are already out in the field seeding, crop specialists are hoping for rain in the near future to improve overall soil conditions.
Moisture, it really depends where you are, but certainly last week we were doing much better. I would expect that now with this very warm weather and even some wind, that some of the topsoil may be getting a bit dry in some areas. But at the moment, producers seem to be happy with the moisture situation, but of course we will need rain soon.
And as Environment Canada looks to its long-term forecast, it expects a mirrored image of what we've experienced over the past several weeks.
If we look at May and June, July, our models are showing more of the same, warmer than normal. Not every day, and not maybe as excruciatingly warm as you've seen the last couple of days, but clearly we think the flavor of the forecast going ahead is milder than normal. The last 21 days, 3 weeks, you've only had a thimbleful of rain, and maybe about less than 6 millimeters of rain. So I think growers would like to see some rains. And of course, we often say that late May, June is really your monsoonal season when the rains come. So I wouldn't be crying too much quite yet.
The normal high for this time of the year for the Swift Current area is 17 degrees, with an overnight low of 3. Breaking the stigma was the topic of discussion at the 12th Annual Mayor's Luncheon, hosted by the Swift Current branch of the Canadian Mental Health Association, with a special keynote speaker taking to the podium. A capacity crowd recently packed the Sky Centre in Swift Current for the 12th Annual Mayor's Luncheon, all in support of the local branch of the Canadian Mental Health Association. The event is a fundraiser to support the numerous programs offered by the Swift Current branch and to create awareness of the various aspects of mental health. Stacey Schwartz has worked with high-risk populations through various organizations across the province and shared her personal experience as a victim of rape when she was 17 and how the incident has affected her overall well-being throughout her adult life. Schwartz further stressed to the crowd the importance of removing the stigmas in society of mental health issues, which can often be a hurdle for individuals requiring counseling or other services.
I think it's easy for us to almost pick and choose who we think needs these services. And when we do that, right, we're creating those stereotypes, we're creating those stigmas, which then limits people from being able to access supports. And I think that's one thing that I've thought a lot about, and I've wanted to just say it when I just shared about, how we do categorize where low income, it's expected that they need it, but yet somebody who's running a business, we set the bar so high for them, or standard or expectation, that we don't allow them to be vulnerable, and we don't embrace it.
And as much as society has improved on its understanding of mental wellness over the years, we still have a long way to go, all starting with one's own personal behavior towards others.
Being aware of what we say, because so many times, even I think of, not to jump on the social media topic, but even that, people are braver with rude comments and the things they say about people. And I think we're not aware all the time, or we don't think through what we say.
And as keynote speakers such as Stacey Schwartz continue to get their message out to the public, the Canadian Mental Health Association says the need continues to grow for the services of their organization.
I'm hoping one day that will become the reality, that the need will diminish, and then we won't have to have this. But it's not, I don't see that in the horizon right now, maybe when medications get better, when people are diagnosed earlier, and maybe we won't have people with long-term mental health issues, I hope.
The Swift Current branch of the Canadian Mental Health Association offers various support services to its 50 clients from Swift Current and the surrounding area, and in the past year served approximately 8,100 meals to its clients.
I don't even know what to say. It's just amazing, and I'm so grateful for all the people that came out to support me.
Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at MyLocalTV.ca. And be sure to follow us on a range of social media. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.